Hey, Cornbread review off the bat, bro. You might not like my review then, man. Yeah, so all in all, man, I ended up coming up 2.5 out of 5. Two of them things.
Yo.
5 out of 5 cornbreads for the cornbread review. What you think?
Yo, welcome back for another Cornbread movie review. I told y'all every week I'm dropping episodes. I appreciate the subscribers, all the the people who are listening and watching it and sending in all the requests too. So thank you guys. Y'all keep me motivated to keep doing this thing, and I'm gonna be here for a little while. So make sure you like, subscribe. Once again, I said last episode or last video that, hey, people are hitting me up saying, hey, when I'm gonna put out our next video, but I put out one every week, right? So make sure when you turn on, when you subscribe, there's a notification bell. It should be to the right. It's a bell. Make sure you click the bell, hit all. So that means you get all my content from, I did some reaction videos now to TV shows, and even, like I said, what you hear for movie reviews. So make sure you turn the notification on and send this video to somebody else. Maybe, I don't know, like I said, let's try to build on these subscribers. So once again, thank you. But let's get back to the nitty gritty and why you're here. Today, we are going to discuss Reminiscence. That's right, Reminiscence. This movie came out a couple weeks ago. This movie kept getting bumped and bumped and bumped because I was doing reviews for other things. But as always, good, bad, ugly, I'm always going to try to do a review on the newer movies that come out, right? So we are here today, Reminiscence. If you're new to the channel, I do my categories on how I rank my movies in 5 different categories, all right? First category, acting. Second category, cinematography. Third category, storytelling. Fourth category, did I get what I bought? And fifth category, is it a must-see? So I add all those up and you get a score, all right? First category, acting. Who was in this movie? You got Hugh Jackman. Come on, man. Hugh Jackman's been in classic roles. I don't see how he can be topped as Wolverine, to me. That's just me. I mean, he was the epitome of Wolverine, but he's in this movie. So you already know that he has the accolades to carry a movie and a franchise, right? So he plays a guy who, I would say, for better words, kind of fell in love. He's kind of lost in where he wants to progress in this setting as well. Also, he became obsessed of trying to find his love and where she is. And we'll get into all the stuff that I'm talking about now. One thing I noticed during the movie, he had a questionable limp. So I don't know if that was in real life, he had a limp while they were filming, or it was for that character, but they didn't elaborate on why he had a limp. So I'm thinking that's maybe in real life he had issues. So I hope he's okay. But his acting was just okay. I've seen him in greater movies stretch and hit his limitations on his acting chops, but he just did okay for this movie. All right. Who else is in this movie? Rebecca Ferguson. She did her thing. I would say she played basically a character who's a drug addict. And also she's lost in life too, right? Her being a drug addict, she was just going from place to place to place, even leaving like abusive situations. So she carried this movie to me a little bit more than Hugh Jackman, even though he did his thing too. I also want to say that being an actor is difficult. I know I judge them and I ain't act. I've been in a couple things, but I ain't act real serious, right? But how you can go from playing something where you're just like bawling your eyes and sad, and then at a snap, you're in go mode, right? Or you're happy or whatever. So I know that's probably pretty difficult dating an actor or something like that, actor or actress. But there's just something to think about. So overall, the acting for this movie and Reminiscence, it gets a 3.5 out of 5 from me. There's a couple areas they could have improved on, but they had good enough acting where they carried it where it didn't drop below the 3.5, all right? So that's for that category. Next category, cinematography. This movie's budget is $54 million. So I've did plenty of movies where the budget's 180, 200, 200 million to 100 million, but this is 54, right? So they had to be creative in what they were doing. Now, they filmed this movie. I'm gonna say filmed. I don't know if they was actually there or not, but they filmed this movie in Miami and a couple scenes in New Orleans, right? So with this category, it's what's the consistency on things. like I said, the how does things look, the transitions, all these categories, even the soundtrack, which they had a pretty good song at the end of the movie. All that plays a part in this category. Okay, so I would say seamless transitions from. We'll get into the premise of the movie where you go from you have present day, but then they go into a water, and then the water takes their mental and then puts it on like this little platform, this screen, right? And so they did pretty well with having that constant film going and the current thing is happening at the same time. So pretty flawless in that. I really enjoyed that part of it. Now, when you're in that said background, the problem comes where it's in first person, because now if say I went back in time to see a loved one or to in this case look for something, I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but when I go look for something, you see the camera and you see me looking down, right, and searching high, low, stuff like that, but it's in first person. There was plenty of times where a couple scenes are first person, but then it turns to third person, right? So it's very inconsistent on what you're looking at, but it should always be in first person. So I think they dropped the ball on the consistency of that. I understand why they did it, to kind of get a better picture of the movie, but if we're going to go with this concept, stick with that concept and try to make the best out of it. So they missed the problems on that. Also, there's a lot of water, which we'll get into why there was a lot of water, but some cheesy water scenes. Noticeable green screen a lot. To me, it looks like the action scenes, they would do their little action, stop. All right, now we're going to the next part. Do your little action, stop. Go to the next part, do your little action, stop. And then just play it. And it looked very choppy. A lot of stunt doubles that you see in this movie too. So they didn't do a great job in hiding those stunt doubles. So all those things take points away from this category. So overall, cinematography gets a 3 out of 5 for me. I would say they tried the best they could of that world where you guys can see people's memories, but they just missed the mark on a couple things. So 3 out of 5 in cinematography. All right. Next category, storytelling. Now we can get into kind of the premise of the movie. You see a little bit, most of it in the trailer as well. It's a futuristic movie, but it doesn't give us a timeline on when it is. They say futuristic because of the technology, but it could be 2050 or it could be next year. I don't know. They don't give us a good time frame. Something that they did do that I've been preaching to a lot of people who I know who live in New Orleans, Texas, Miami, is I think those places are going to be flooded or underwater in, let's say, 50 years, man. So make sure you guys try to move or find different locations so that you can have a better livelihood, because they're getting hit with hurricanes all the time. And so this movie takes place in the aftermath of Miami being flooded out. So the city's still a little live. There's still some people who live there, but you could tell like those are probably the impoverished people, the drug addicts and things like that, or especially abandoned buildings. But the city is flooded in Miami. So it was a good concept to show that, hey, we are kind of reaching that point. So I think I wish they would have highlighted more of that part, because that is very true in what we deal with to this day. Now, I would say the movie is what you see is people go into this water tank and then they project their memories on the screen, or people who want to relive, let's say, the good days. Or if somebody died, they get to re-see their grandmother again, right? Or it could be something as small as, hey, I lost something. Can you help me find it? So people use this think tank. I don't know what it's called, but this think tank for an array of reasons. And if they got money to pay, they pay. If they can't, they'll tell them they'll pay next time, because this is a time where a lot of people don't have money. Even Hugh Jackman's character. So they, one thing I want to talk about, if something smells like a setup, it probably is, man. For me, when the main character comes in, or the leading actress comes in, and things kind of smell fishy, that something's going to happen. It probably will happen in real life. So the movie wasn't that predictable. But I would say a lot of the scenes were forced, where they do something and then they go to, it's like they're leading up to dialogue, and then they go have dialogue with a specific person, and then they talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and then something happens, then they leave, and then they lead up to more dialogue. So it was very forced. The movie didn't seem fluid, even though the storytelling was kind of fluid, but how they presented that, from paper to film was kind of choppy. So I had to take some points off for that. And to me, it came more of a love story. Maybe I was thinking it was more of a, not really action, but sci-fi, but this became more of a love story. So for those reasons, got bumped down again for me. So I had to give it a 3 out of 5 in storytelling. Okay. Next category, did I get what I bought? What that means is, how much did I pay for this, and was it worth it, basically, right? So this movie is in theaters. A couple of housekeeping rules. The movie is PG-13, and like I said, it's in theaters. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes too. So use the bathroom before you watch it. You got to pay attention to every detail. I would say it never lost me watching this movie. I was never lost, but I was wondering, where are we going? Like I was anxious to, I guess, kind of get to the point or get to where we're going, which is a good and bad thing. Like I said, I wouldn't say I lost interest in it, but I was like, come on, man, we got to kind of wrap this up and get to, the finish line, or at least the climax of the movie. So I felt like that a couple times. Not too many action scenes. And even some of the scenes that were happening weren't realistic. Like there was a shootout scene that obviously everybody has a gun, but nobody can shoot, right? Like, come on, man. Everybody's missing everybody. So I kind of, like I said, compare this category to all the other reviews that I do. So it took a couple hits that I get what I bought. So once again, it got a 2.5 out of 5. I might give it a 3 if I get what I bought based off the trailer. I did have expectations for it, and I think it was underwhelming. So I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 for me in this category. All right. Next category. Did I get what I'm sorry. Is it a must see? I'm tripping. I'm tripping in my own segments, man, but we family, so don't tell anybody. All right. Is it a must see? Going into the trailer, I'm like, hey, we've seen this movie before, kind of like Minority Report, where, you can go into like this think tank and then project out the future or the past. So Minority Report is a good movie that I always love. So to me, I was sold, especially with Hugh Jackman in it. I'm good. It is in theaters, so COVID obviously is still out there. So just make sure you mask up while you're out there, or don't sit next to somebody. But still not a lot of people in the theaters so far. This movie became more of a mystery and a love story than, let's say, like a drama thriller. So it's something I didn't expect, which was kind of a good thing, but also what got me into the seat, I was looking for that. And I would say they missed the mark on that as well. A couple plot holes, a lot of unanswered questions that I had after watching the movie, which is always not good unless you do a sequel. And I don't know, I haven't heard any rumblings if they are going to do a sequel. The only good thing is the story felt complete, right? Like, yes, I had unanswered questions, but from start to finish, they completed that objective, right? It wasn't like there was no ending, or like, how did we get here type of thing. So is it a must see? I'm going to say a 3 out of 5, just because you can kind of wait till it becomes on demand. But you know me, I'm always going to go see the movies when they're fresh out and try to be, the person to let you guys know, hey, this is what I thought about it. So it's a 3 out of 5 on the must-see category. So you ain't got to be a brain surgeon to kind of know what I ranked this movie. Overall, this movie, Reminiscence, gets 3 out of 5. It almost reached that in every category. It's not the worst movie that I've seen, but I feel like they could have did a lot better, and my expectations were higher in this movie. So check out my 2021 Cornbread movie reviews. So far this year, yes, we are rolling through this thing. Like I said, I got the Cornbread movie review in 2 different sections now. So this will be on the second part of it, okay? Now, this is the part of the review where I got to give you a forgotten segment. This is a movie where maybe you never heard of it. Maybe you have seen it and you need to double back and watch it. Or you was like, man, I did remember somebody saying something about it, and I just never quite got to it. So I'm going to let you know. Definitely certified Cornbread movie review. Go check this movie out. This movie came out in 2018, and the movie is Mile 22. This is an action thriller The only negative part that I hated about this movie is that it was too short, man. That's how good it was that I'm like, no, I wish this movie was longer, or I need a mile 23. I need a sequel to this because it's very good. Mark Wahlberg plays a great character in this movie. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I mean. He's not playing this typical, I got my shirt off, I'm bench pressing, and look at me and I'm saving the world, right? No, he plays a specific character, and I think he plays that character very well. Also, Iko Uwais, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but my apologies. But Kung Fu master, but he also plays a great spy type of person. This movie deals with, revenge. Be careful what you do. And I'm not going to give the movie away, but definitely go check out Mile 22. Go check out Reminiscence. Let me know what you think in the description box. Once again, I'm back with another episode next week. I love y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you again. Peace.